Hey everybody, Lance Bell here. It's very rare I do a commentary on a Saturday night, but I prompted to do this one today, and here's the reason why. Dave Coulter, also known as Beer Sampling and Dave, did a Google Hangout on Friday night. Now, the topic in question was, what is wrong with America? Now, I will post a link below what he talked about, but I'm not going to talk about that in general, so please understand that. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is something very specific. It has nothing to do with that. Now, as I go and drink my beverage, and folks, if you're wondering what I'm drinking, it is natty ice. Now, for most of you know that I do beer reviews also, but this is not the topic of this particular video. As I put my beverage down, as you can see, he talked about what is wrong with America. And honestly, I'm going to take a different route than what Dave and Scott, who was also in the conversation, talked about. I'm going to talk about today intelligence. Now, I'm not saying everybody out there is dumb as a box of rocks. We all know that is incorrect. I am talking about the low intelligent person, and let me explain why. The best way to describe it is this. There are a lot of people who just don't care, and if you're telling me otherwise, you're lying to yourself. All you need to do is go online and see all the clickbait is going on and how it's worded. There's so many people out there that don't even read the articles and go off what they're saying, and they believe it is gospel. Now, folks, that is blatantly wrong, and it's morally wrong. And you might be thinking to yourself, Lance, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I'm going to go a little bit about it in depth. You know, people consider me a journalist. And as a journalist, and I've said this for a long time, I have a professional and, more importantly, moral obligation to tell the truth and nothing else. And I'm one of those old school people to why I fear that the news should be reported as the news. Sorry guys, that's how I am. Now, as far as the low intelligent people, in the conversation that Dave and Scott had, they talked about people on welfare, people gaming a system, and yes, I know people are going to do that naturally. There's a percentage that's always going to happen. That isn't even the conversation I want to have. I'm talking about the people that are so quote unquote dumb due to their situation. They go about this route. Now, Dave and his example is up in Cleveland. Now, I'm down here in Akron, and I see it all the time. Not as scope of he sees, because that's a larger city, but I see it down here all the time. And let me tell you something. This is a prevalent problem throughout the country. People are so stupid, they'll do just about anything. And I don't like saying that, but that's what it is. Sorry guys, it is what it is. Now, I hate talking bad about people all the time like that, but you know what? It happens, you know. As an example, I know for a fact that people growing up think of it that way, excuse me. Now, I know that is how they're raised, and that comes from the parents. Now, folks, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I went to Akron Public Schools. Now, I was smart enough to go to an art school, but as Dave said in one of his other rants, that he sees people that have no business in college. Now, I'm not going to talk about what he does. Go watch his videos. He'll talk about that. That is not my place to say here on this video. But you see people all the time doing this, how they're doing it. I mean, like, he in the chat they talk about the person in Youngstown that killed someone, and he even talked about in his most recent rant what happened down in Atlanta, how the people down there were cheating to get basically more money. And you know what? That is bullshit. It's like people like me or even you watching this busted their ass to get where they're at. And in all honesty, I think I turned out okay. I mean, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but it's like I said, but it's like, you know what? I turned out alright. You don't go killing, armed robberies, garbage like that. And you talk to these, and people come up and say like, well, Lance, they're trying to do stuff like that. It's like, I say, hold on. As an example, this week, I saw Stanford University throw out scholarships, or whatever you want to call it, for people for low income. And I saw the progressives jumping on this as a great thing. Just one problem, and one problem only. Nobody read the rules. And there's a lot of rules involved with that. And I suggest you read that before you jump judgment. And that goes back to saying the low intelligent people. They will just read it and take it as gospel. Now, I'm going to get off here because there's a lot more I want to say, and I'm a little tipsy right now, and I apologize for that. Now, I don't normally do rants like this, but if you enjoy it, please let me know in the comments below. But that's besides the point. Something was talked about, and everything was said was 100%, well, let me take that back. Not 100% correct, because what they said about, borders, is a whole different subject, and I'll talk about it at a later date. But understand something. Lance Bell here understand what they're going through, and I understand it 100%. So keep that in mind. Stay tuned if there's another rant that I do this, and always be careful and remember, fear the root.